Welcome back, everybody, to another edition of Best Bets for Pure Picks. I'm your host, James, joined here by my colleague, Alex. How are you doing tonight, Alex?
Doing good, doing good. Happy Halloween, everybody. Pure Picks, let's go, baby.
Yeah, definitely. Let's try to get some tricks or treats going. More treats, obviously, because in spirit of Halloween, try and get that candy, get that bread, right? We try and get that rush. So, really want to get
Yo,
those dubs this week. Really, we broke down the card with Gerard. I wanted to pick your brain and see what your best bets are. I know they sent me over some best bets, so I'm really interested to see, what kind of things you got going on your mind right now. I think that first off, you have a parlay. Could you explain to our peer pickers what kind of parlays? And by the way, please like, comment, subscribe. Forgot to do that, but really help out for the growth of our channel if you guys give us a like, comment, and subscribe. Uh, but yeah, first off, what's your parlay?
yep. So I have a four-leg parlay going on. The first leg is Gabriel Bonfim, followed by Rinat. Third leg is going to be Ismael Bonfim. And to close it out, the fourth leg will be Nascimento.
Nice, nice. Okay. So Gabriel Bonfim, Ismail Bonfim, Renat Fakhretdinov, Nascimento. See what those odds are real quick. Is that one, two, three, four? Is that four legger?
Exactly. Yep.
Okay. And let's see, that's four legger. That's not bad. Plus 189. I was trying to look for something that was juicy during the breakdown, but that's really not bad for a four legger. Could you explain for the peer pickers each leg, give us your analysis and thoughts on why you're including this specific leg in the parlay?
Yeah, definitely. So first leg, again, Gabriel Bonfim. I think this guy is an absolute killer. When I watched his fight against Trevin Giles, I knew right away that this guy was the real deal. If you watch him fight, he is hyper aggressive, and he's not going to let the opponent rest for a second. Um, it's crazy because when I broke down this fight, I went on Tapology to look at Nicholas Dalby's record. And I instantly noticed that, this guy has Dalby. He's never been knocked out or submitted. So watching Gabriel Bonfim's fight against Trevin Giles instantly in my head, I was like, okay, I'm gonna slam this under. It's gonna be like, really good value. But then I go on Bet Online, and in my head initially, I'm thinking, oh, okay, under 2.5, I'm gonna slam this because I think Gabriel Bonfim is that good. He's that much of a prospect. So I go on Bet Online, and the line is not even 2.5; it's under 1.5, and at under 1.5, it's minus 145. So to me, that just shows that this guy is a gigalock set and forget. Um, and then, in terms of like, the tape itself of Dalby, one thing that kind of instantly jumps out is that he's definitely a very huge welterweight. He's gonna have the size advantage on Bonfim. But again, like the pressure, the pace, it's gonna be too much for Dalby to handle. He's too hittable. And I just feel like Dalby, he's the type of fighter that needs kind of like space and time to really operate and pick the opponent apart, which is something that, he's not going to have against Gabriel Bonfim. So, first leg Bonfim, I think it's a giggle lock right there.
Perfect, perfect. That's a great first leg to have. I mean, I think that this Bonfim, especially Gabriel Bonfim, not to be confused with his brother, right? I think this leg is going to be in a lot of people's parlays. So hoping we all
Yeah.
cash that ticket. I know he's going to be in my parlay for sure. Your second leg that I have here is let's just start off with his brother, Ismail Bonfim. Why are you
Yeah.
including the brother as well?
So I think, while the brother, while Ishmael Bonfim is definitely, I'd say he's a little bit weaker than his brother Gabriel. But again, like looking at his opponent, Pichel, just based on technical ability, just looking at technical ability, he's better than Pichel both on the feet and on the ground. Um, I think. watching Ismael Bonfim, I think he's an excellent counterpuncher. He has very good timing, and I think that he would rather his opponent move forward. That's kind of like his preference. But I don't really see that happening here. So I think Ishmael Bonfim is going to slowly walk Pichel down and just land heavy blows, get takedowns if he needs to. Um, so I really think the submission as well as the KO are both live. Um, if I were to pick, slight lean towards submission, but I can honestly even see this fight going to a decision. Um, because one thing that I will give, to Pichel is that he's a very tough, hard-nosed, old school fighter. Um, because of that, I'm not going to be betting inside the distance. I think, money line is a lot safer. Just put that into your Gigalock.
Yeah,
Um, so that's, technical, the technical data, how both of these fighters fight. Then you can add in like some of these intangible, data points. Pichel, he's 40. Um, the fight card is in Sao Paulo, so they're gonna want Ismael Bonfim to win. But I think it's important to first look at the fight itself, the technical side of it, and then you can add some percentage points here and there based on age, that intangible stuff, that sort of thing. So second leg, Ismael Bonfim, I also think it's a gigalock here.
definitely, definitely. And just in the spirit of Halloween, man, you're cooking up something good right now. I like these ingredients. We got two legs left. What are some other ingredients that we got? So we got Renat. Could you explain why Renat is that third ingredient in this leg in this part?
Yes. So I think before I talk about Rinat, I think it's important to note that, I do think Zaleski is a very skilled fighter. He's definitely no scrub. Um, in his last fight against Abubakar, who's primarily a wrestler, Zaleski was able to, kind of stifle all of Abubakar's takedown attempts. Now, although Abubakar's, takedown attempts, they're not very dynamic, I thought it was still like impressive for him to kind of be able to stay on his feet. Um, and another thing I noticed was that Zaleski has very good knees in the clinch. Um, so, he Zaleski's a very good striker. He's a very good ground game. He's like a BJJ black belt. So he has like all the skills you want to see in a fighter. But with that said, I think Renat is just a different animal. Um, Renat is just huge for a welterweight. Um, he hits much harder than Abubakar. He throws very stiff jabs down the pipe. Um, and it's kind of like a combination because his improved striking is what ultimately sets up his wrestling, which is his true bread and butter. Um, Renat, in this fight, I can see it playing out where, Renat will be the fighter that is moving forward. He's going to be the one dictating the pressure as well as the pace. And, I just think Renat's takedowns are a lot more dynamic. And it's going to be more punishing than anyone Zaleski has faced. And one thing I also noticed was that, Zaleski's fight against Benoit, um, in the very first round, like the first takedown that Benoit Saint Denis uh, shot on Zaleski, he was able to get him down the very first one. And BSD Benoit Saint Denis, he's a natural lightweight, and so I don't think Renat is going to have any trouble getting this guy down. And so that is my third gigalock right there.
Perfect, perfect. And sorry guys, if you guys hear the background noise. I'm just doing a Halloween party pretty soon. But your fourth leg, your fourth ingredient, what is that leg? And can you tell me the pure pickers what the last leg is?
So the fourth and final leg is Nascimento. So first of all, right out of the bat, these two have already fought each other. And Nascimento obviously came out victorious. But what was particularly interesting for me is that when I broke down this fight, I first started with Dontel Mays. Um, his last fight against Andre Arlovsky, in that fight, I thought Mays, even though he did win, he got the knockout. I thought he looked very slow and had a very low volume output. Um, then after his most recent fight against Arlovsky, I then watched his first fight against Nascimento, and it was kind of like night and day for me. I thought Mays looked like he was in much better shape. Um, and this first fight was back in 2020. Um, so now with his kind of slower and like fatter like fighting style, I think he's gonna have like even more trouble. Um, and in my eyes, like watching Nascimento, he's the more nimble fighter. He's very light on his feet. So outside of a lucky overhand or like random hook from Dontel Mays, I think Nascimento is going to dominate here. So that's going to be my fourth and final leg. I like all of these picks, and I'm pretty confident.
I like all of them too. And the thing that I want to talk about in terms of Nascimento is, similar to when Rodriguez and Waterson Gomez fought, right? People tend to think that, hey, like maybe the rematch, the challenger who lost, maybe they're going to get a little better. But people need to remember that the winner also gets better too. I mean, these, the winner doesn't just lay on the couch and do nothing for a few years. Then only the loser gets better, right? So I
Yeah.
totally agree. I mean, I think that minus 171, you kind of convinced me that looks more and more like a steal, in my opinion, because I think Nascimento opened up at like minus 450 or something. But yeah, pretty good value right there. Your next pick that you got, I think you have a money line for us and maybe an underdog play as well. Can you tell the viewers a little bit about that?
Yep. So my money line underdog bet is going to be Esteban Ribovics. So I definitely think that there's value here. Um, Personally, I feel I have the line closer to a pick 'em. So at plus 140, over the long term, if you're getting like value picks, I think you're gonna be positive in the long run. Um, it's funny because this is gonna be his third straight fight against a guy that's looking to get the fight down to the mat. Um, Elvis Brener, he's a shoot the box guy, and I love the shoot the box guys. He has 13 submission victories. Um, and in Elvis Brenner's last fight, he was a huge underdog, and he was able to get the knockout. But setting aside the knockout, what particularly impressed me about Elvis Brenner was his grit and toughness. He's if you have money on him, like they're not gonna, give up. So he's gonna keep pushing forward. He's never been knocked out or submitted. Um, and much like Ribovics' last two fights, I think Brenner will also be able to get Ribovics down. Um, Now, with all of that said, all of these good things about Elvis Brenner, I was not impressed with his cardio. Um, I felt like, he was getting really gassed in his last fight. Um, and, getting gassed against a guy like Esteban Ribovics is, kind of a recipe for disaster. Um, First of all, Ribovics has an excellent get-up game. So although he does get taken down pretty easily, you can bank on him that he's going to get back up. Um, So, I'm confident he's going to be able to get back up on his feet after getting taken down. Second point, Rubovics has excellent cardio. He's going to keep pushing forward and applying that pressure on Brenner. Um, and then, so, with those 2 points said, I think it's also important to highlight that, Ribovics is also very hittable himself. But both these guys have that dog in them. Like they will not give up. None of them have been KO'd or submitted. So you know that, it's just going to be a really exciting fight. Um, but how I see it playing out is that after Brener gets, a couple takedowns, he's going to start getting very gassed. Um, and that's when I think Ribovics is, really going to shine and separate himself uh, from Brener. So, again, I personally have this line as a pick'em. So at plus 140, I like the value here.
I totally agree with you. I mean, when I did the breakdown last night with Gerard, I had similar thoughts to you. I think that this is closer to a pick 'em fight, and in those kind of fights, I want to be holding the dog money kind of ticket right at the end because at the decision time, you want to be holding that plus money. So yeah, I totally agree with you. One thing to note though, I did scour Twitter today, and I saw there were some rumors that the fight might be canceled or something. I hope not, because I think it's a I know the reaction is probably the same for a lot of people. I mean, I think this is the fight of the night, potentially. So I hope it stays on the card. But if you go like UFCstats.com, it's not there anymore. So I hope that I hope it doesn't get canceled because that's something that I think everybody's kind of looking forward to. And it's the future prelim, right? So it's the last fight of the prelim transitioning to the main card. That's what the UFC wants to put as a banger. So hopefully, I'm praying that it stays on
Yeah,
the card.
fingers crossed.
Cool. Yeah, exactly, exactly. And you had another prop, I believe. You want to finish it off with a best bet kind of prop? Can you tell the people a little bit about what kind of prop you got?
Yes. So my last best bet is kind of a long shot prop, high odds that I think has a very good chance of hitting. So it's going to be quarter unit sprinkles on Kyle Baralio submission to win by submission in rounds two. So quarter unit, and then another quarter unit to win by submission in round three. Now, the reasoning is because in Abus's last fight against Strickland, um, it was very, very alarming to me the way he faded in round two of a 5 round fight. So Abus knew this was going to be a 5 round fight, but he didn't even have cardio to last 2 rounds. Um, so it was very alarming for me. Like that's the first point. With that said, I would not be surprised if Abus wins the first round. I think he has, fantastic kicks, specifically the teep kick, down the pipe. I think that's one of his, best weapons. Um, but, once it hits the second and third round, I expect Kaio's pressure and, inner dog to really get him the victory. This guy's Brazilian. He's a uh, exciting fighter. He's on the main card. So, the UFC, again, these are like, intangible data points, but, I could see him as someone that the UFC wants to build up.
Yeah.
Now, Kyle has also never been knocked out, so he's ultra durable. He really just needs to survive that first round, survive the kicks, and really close the distance. Another data point is Abus's last decision match was back in 2018. So I'm still not sure he has a cardio. I don't know if he learned his lesson from the last Sean Strickland fight. We'll see. Um, so I expect Kaio to shoot very aggressive glass doubles. That's kind of like his bread and butter. He's looking to get the fight down to the mat. And I fully expect him to take a boost down and eventually sub him in the later rounds. So round two or round three.
Awesome. And right now on Bet Online, one of our affiliates, Cal Brajo, round two by sub plus 850, round three by sub plus 1200. A
So
nice little,
baby.
nice little rocket ships right there. Just in your opinion, I mean, what would you recommend people, potentially put on these kind of, rocket ship kind of props? What kind of unit sizing will be suitable for this?
Yeah, so as I mentioned, initially, I would really go with quarter unit sprinkled,
Yeah,
with these, long odds, best not to go, too hard, with the 1 unit. But I think quarter unit definitely is suffice.
yeah, definitely, definitely sounds good. Well, that about pretty much wraps it up. I think that those were all the best bets and picks you got, right?
Yep, that is it.
Perfect,
And
perfect.
I'm really confident. I'm really confident, and I think we're gonna make some money this weekend. So I look
I
forward
think
to
so
it.
too. Let's keep the train going. I mean, we're plus 6.16 units on UFC 294. Took a little bit of a break because UFC had a little break, but we're ready to ride, ready to cook up
Go, baby.
some more food and more juice. So let's just get this thing going. Yeah, so I totally agree with all your bets. Personally, I might tail some of them to be honest because they look pretty good. So yeah, just check out our bets on Bet MMA Tips. We're gonna kind of post them all there. And yeah, other than that, any other last thoughts before we wrap it up?
No, again, looking forward to this card. And yeah, happy Halloween.
Definitely, definitely. Happy Halloween. Hope everybody gets a little bit of a treat this weekend. Just for the viewers, this Saturday at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, that is when the fight card will start on ESPN Plus or, other kind of streams, if you know what I mean. So, yeah, other than that, have a great day and have a great night. We'll be back soon next week for UFC 295. That's going to be a
Ooh,
big one. Oh my God, that's going to be huge. I'm probably a little personally, I'm probably a little light on units this week just because I probably want to save it for next week. But yeah, I'm ready to rock and roll for this week and next week, if you know what I mean. So yeah, let's get it rolling.
brother. Yep.
Definitely. All right, man. Have a good day, dude. We'll see each other soon. And for the pure pickers, best of luck.
Let's go, baby.